The movie opens in Woodsboro, and Tara Carpenter is home alone and suddenly receives a call with a voice claiming to be someone named Charlie, calling for Tara's mother. After a little time spent on the phone, the voice starts asking Tara horror movie questions, and she responds that she prefers the newer, elevated horror movies. The voice over the phone is persistent and asks Tara what about the stab movies, and that her friend's life is in Tara's hands because she has to answer the questions right for Amber to live. Unfortunately, Tara answers the last question wrong, and the killer known as GhostFace tries to get into her house and manages to slash Tara's stomach before entering and stabbing her in the hand and on the side. But the police arrive, and Ghostface flees the scene. In Modesto, Tara's older sister, Sam, is working with her boyfriend named Richie when suddenly she receives a call from Tara's friend Wes, who informs her that Tara was attacked, and the two drive back to Woodsboro while discussing the stab horror movies and the connection between them and the attack on Tara. At Woodsboro High, all of Tara's friends, Amber, Wes, Liv McKenzie, and siblings Chad and Mindy are gathered as they talk about Tara's attack and Sam's return home. Near them, there is a creepy guy named Vince who tries to get back with Liv, despite her now going out with Chad. In the midst of it all, it also turns out that Wes is actually Judy's son, who has gone from deputy to sheriff of Woodsboro. Wes receives a text from Tara, and all of them go to visit her now that she has woken up. Sam and Richie also arrive at the hospital, which makes Tara happy because it has been 5 years since she has seen Sam, and asks everyone to leave the two sisters for some alone time. At a pool hall, Vince is again there and is confronted by Chad. However, Vince pulls out a knife and is sent out by the bartender. Vince goes out to his car that is turned on, but sees no one in the car, and is met by Ghostface, who stabs him in the neck and leaves him to die. Sam goes to the hospital bathroom to take her medication and sees hallucinations of the original Woodsboro killer named Billy Loomis, and tells Tara that she knows why the killings are happening and what she has to do with it. Judy, knowing Sam's past and the troubles she caused, suggests that she leaves town first thing in the morning. Sam talks to Tara alone and tells her that when she was 13, she went up to the attic of their old house and found a diary of their mom. And that is when she found out that she is actually an illegitimate daughter of the previously mentioned serial killer Billy Loomis, which is the reason why their dad left them after he found out. Tara is angry at her for waiting all this time to tell her this, and to help Tara, the two find the home of former Sheriff Dewey Riley, who does not want to speak with them, until Sam tells him she is Billy's daughter, and proceeds to tell him about the killings, who then suggests that if the killer is inspired by the first stab movie, then they should follow the rules, including to not trust your love interest, and then makes them leave, who then calls Sydney, one who is aware of the past killings, and refuses to set foot in Woodsboro ever again. Dewey convinces himself to go to Woodsboro, and together with Sam and Richie, they arrive at Chad and Mindy's house, where Sam tells everyone about the connection she has with all that is happening, and the inspiration behind the killer now and the past killings, or even the previously mentioned stab movie that Dewey suggested. Mindy suggests that the killer is doing a requel, a reboot, and a sequel, much like what the other household franchises did recently, including the likes of Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, Star Wars, and more. Wes worries that his mom is next since she was part of a stab story. Judy later orders food and goes to pick it up, but is called by Ghostface, threatening to kill Wes, after which she rushes back home to save Wes, who does not hear the phone because he is in the shower, and Judy gets killed by Ghostface in front of her house, with Wes getting stabbed in the throat inside the house shortly after. Sam and Dewey come across the crime scene when Sam notices the deputy is there too, leaving Tara alone, and rushes there together with Dewey. At the hospital, the lights are turned off by Ghostface, and Tara knows that she needs to find help and wheels herself out of the room, and finds a murdered guard and his gun taken, after which she goes back to her room to hide and sees someone opening the door. It is Richie, there to check on her per Sam's request. Sam tries to call Tara, but Ghostface taunts her through the phone, who then knocks Richie out and goes after Tara, who manages to escape his clutches. Ghostface then tells Sam to choose who should die next, Richie or Tara, but she manages to stall enough time until she makes it there with Dewey. Sam, Richie, and Tara get into an elevator, and Dewey stays behind to shoot Ghostface in the head, but is killed by him before he can do so. Gale is devastated to see Dewey's wheeled out, and the scene shifts towards Sydney's return to Woodsboro, who decided to come after hearing about Dewey's death. She offers to help Sam, but she refuses and tells her that she will take Tara and flee from Woodsboro. Sydney tells her that running away never works, but Sam proceeds with it anyway. But the sisters are followed by Gale and Sydney through a tracker that Sydney placed on Sam's car. To get a spare inhaler, Tara and Sam go to Amber's house, where she, together with Liv, Chad, and Mindy, are having a memorial party for Wes. Liv storms out after being under suspicion by Chad, who then follows her only to be lured by Ghostface, who gets the drop on Chad and begins stabbing him. Fed up with being accused of being the killer, she suggests that Mindy might be the next victim, because the expert character is the next in line in the stab movies. Ghostface comes behind Mindy and stabs her in the neck, but is stopped by Sam coming into the room, and he flees, leaving Amber and Tara to find Sam with blood on her hands and think that she is the one who attacked Mindy. The group gathers, and Liv is also covered in Chad's blood, leading to more accusations thrown around. Amber reveals that she is the killer and pulls out a gun to kill Liv. Sydney and Gale hear screams from the house. Amber shoots Gale in the side and runs back in the house. Sydney enters the house and shoots every door and accidentally shoots Richie in the leg, who was just trying to hide. Sam finds Tara tied up in a closet, but remembers that Richie told her that there is always a second killer, and he implied that Tara is the second one because she is the one to lure them all back to Woodsboro. Amber and Sydney struggle for a gun. Sam grabs it, but is stabbed by Richie, who reveals himself to be the second killer. He even shows that he is the one to take the inhaler to bring the sisters to the house. Richie and Amber take Sydney, Gale, and Sam into the kitchen to kill them, but not before revealing their motive for the latest stab movie. Despite having the creative liberty, they did not manage to deliver and pay homage to the original, which brought them to the idea of them to do a requel by bringing back a legacy character, hence Sam, along with original protagonists like Gale, Sydney, and Dewey. Everything in order to make an ideal stab sequel, and they plan to frame Sam as the villain of the story. Amber goes to check on Tara, who hits Amber, but somehow manages to get back in the kitchen, where she fights with Sydney and Gale, who then kill her by engulfing her in flames. Meanwhile, Richie prepares to kill Sam, but she grabs a knife and stabs him, and kills him. Sam is warned by Sydney and Gale that killers always try to come back for one more scare, and Amber is seen running, screaming, trying to kill, but is killed by Tara, who shoots her in the head, after which Sam shoots Richie in the head to make sure he stays dead. The police and medics arrive, and Chad and Mindy are revealed to be alive, with Sam thanking Sydney and Gale for their help. Gale then decides that her next book will be about a hero named Dewey, and Sam and Tara go back to the hospital while news reporters cover the crime scene. Subscribe for more videos like this, and turn on the notifications so you never miss any of them.